Hey everyone, welcome to episode 293, Sleep Hygiene. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. Hey everyone. So I am so excited to talk to you about sleep hygiene because sleep is something that I've struggled with on and off for my whole adult life. And I just turned 50 a little bit ago, a hot second ago. So that's a long time in my whole adult life. We're talking 30 years on and off. I've been to sleep hygiene. I've been to sleep doctors. I've done all the things. But before we talk about that, I want to talk to you today about today's sponsor. And it's about letter writing as a side gig. Now, if you have been following my stories, you have seen that I am so excited about this. I haven't even posted it on my regular feed on Facebook because the interest is so off the charts that I don't want to be chained to my computer. So I'm sharing it with people who are watching my stories because I feel like when I post things in my regular feed, I'm kind of hijacking people's feeds that, you know, you're ever scrolling, you're like, I don't want to see that. And I never want to be that person. And I'm sure I'm not posting anything. I'm sure no one ever said anything about that. When I post anything, I don't want to see that. But you know what I mean? And so I feel like with stories, people have to opt in. They have to actually go there and they have to want to see what they're going for. And then same with the podcast. You are opting in to listening to this. So like Shalene says, you're the lifers. So for the lifers, I have not posted on my regular feed because I know I can't keep up with all the emails of just posting in my stories. So I'm posting it right now in my stories and on the podcast. And then when I filter through all those emails, I'm talking hundreds of emails, then I will post on my regular feed. So just consider yourself having VIP access because I have found something that is going to help so many people. And I found it on a whim from my friend Kristen. She told me about it. And I was like, come on, no way. That can't be real. You actually can do it because I was like, let me vet this for Lily because you have to be 18 and she's going to be 18 in like a year. Okay. And in college. So I thought to myself, let me vet this for Lily because you need to get the training program and all the supplies. And I'm like, let me do this as her guinea pig to see if it's legit. And I'm here to say that I have made thousands of dollars writing letters to companies. And I can't believe it myself. And I was not even going to share it with anybody other than family because I just didn't think it was going to be, I wasn't really thinking it was a scam or that it was not legit. I was just thinking more like, it can't really be what it's cracked up to be. I thought it would be like 50% of that because you get $5 for every letter that you write. And the letters only take 4 to 6 minutes. I have mine down to 3 because I turn everything into a game. So the more you write, the more you make, and anyone can be successful, which is the most exciting thing for me because I love helping people. So I love helping people be successful. Now, this is only if you live in the US or Canada. There's some states in the US that are not eligible. But if you are interested in learning more, send me an email, reply to the email that I send you every Wednesday at coachingkelly@aol.com. Yes, I cannot let go of AOL. And just reply to that email or just send me an email that says letter writing. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Like, does he have a car? Or Facebook, Instagram, smoke signals. You know how to reach me. I hope you never think that, oh, I don't want to reach out to her because she's so busy. When I get those emails, I'm like, girl, I've been waiting for your email. Or boy, I've been waiting for your email. So never think that I get too many emails on my AOL because like I send that every Wednesday and I get crickets in response. So if you reply, I'll be so excited. I get a lot of messages on social media, but not on my AOL. Maybe it's because I'm using AOL. And you're probably not even getting the emails on Wednesday because they're probably caught up in some spam folder through my MailChimp. So if you're interested in learning more, it is I'm so excited because anyone can do this, any age over 18, elderly, retired, students, college students. I can't wait for Lily to be old enough to do this. I can't wait for Grady to be old enough to do this because it's something that you can do in the cracks of your day. I do it between clients. I do it between laundry. I do it between sports. I actually do it at Grady's games where he umpires. I can get so much writing done because sometimes he'll have double headers if he's umpiring or playing, and there's a lot of sitting around. I can't really do it in volleyball because that's a really active sport to be a fan. But in baseball, there's a lot of downtime and a lot of just chilling out. So I can do both at the same time. And it is, for some reason, what I wasn't expecting. I never expected it to be so relaxing for me to actually handwrite things. Because number one, when I'm timing myself, like I'm at a baseball game, I'm not timing myself. I'm just chilling. But if I'm doing it in a crack of my day and I have 30 minutes to give to it, I want to get the most bang for my buck, so to speak. So I have to stay so focused on the time that I kind of like disassociate or disconnect. And like, it's a great distraction because it's a great way to disconnect because I'm not on my phone. I'm not distracted. And when I do try to get distracted, it's almost really good for my ADD too, because when I do get distracted and I'm like, oh, I need to go sharpen this pencil, or, oh, I need to go write that email, or, oh, I don't even give into it. I just keep pressing on. I might put a little note to the side so I don't forget that, so the thought doesn't ruminate. But it's very relaxing to disconnect, to write. I feel like I'm almost like an elementary school, or like I'm a secretary or something. I can't describe it, but it's so relaxing. I have so much, I wake up thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it because it's just, when I get addicted to something, like watch out world. And I feel like this has been so good for my grief because it's been a great way for me to kind of disconnect and just in a positive way. It's almost like going for a long run and just focus on something else for a little bit. So if you're under a lot of stress, it's a great stress reduction. And I can't describe why. There's a multitude of reasons, I'm sure. But if you're interested, send me a message and just say, tell me more about this letter writing. It's making me very giddy too, if you can't tell. And I just love being able to give someone an opportunity and then they can be successful too, and like handing off the torch. Because sometimes, like when I was teaching people how to be life coaches or Beachbody coaches, or I would hand off the torch and then they wouldn't be successful and I would feel so bad. Like, I don't know what the problem is. And I would try to help, but it was so exhausting for me and exhausting for them too. Like, I'm trying all the things, I'm doing all the things, and something wasn't clicking. Well, with this, it's an introvert's dream come true because you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to tell anybody about it like I'm doing. I didn't tell anybody about it because it does take a while to get your first payout. And I didn't tell anybody. Even David would walk by. He's like, are you writing letters to your boyfriend? I'm like, yeah, I'm writing a letter to my boyfriend. And then, so I didn't really tell anybody. I wasn't really planning on telling anybody because I thought it'd be a cool thing, but not like beyond cool. So I'm super excited. If you're interested, send me a message. I do not want to stalk anyone or like convince anybody or track you down. So just let me know and I will hook you up, Buttercup, with the training because it's amazing. I didn't do the training, but oh my gosh, it's so detailed and so thought out and very light and fluffy too. It's not like serious and stiff. Okay, so getting on to sleep hygiene. So sleep hygiene is something, I love the word, and pretty much I'm trying to just say, I just want you to sleep better. Because when you sleep better, your whole day is so much better. You're softer, kinder, more loving, less stressed, all the things. And a lot of times when I would wake up in the middle of the night and see what time it was, because my problem was I could fall asleep fine, but I couldn't stay asleep. So I'd fall asleep at 10, 11 o'clock and I'd out like a light, and then 2 o'clock wide awake. Like I could go run a 5K wide awake. And then I would start to panic. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to get up in 3 hours. Oh my gosh, I have to get up in 4 hours. Oh my gosh, I've only had 4 hours of sleep. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be so tired. And then I would start spiraling. So one thing that helped me, but I don't do this anymore, but I used to do it, was I would hide the clock. I'd put something over the clock. So I didn't even know what time it was when I rolled over and looked at the clock. And that really seemed to help in one of my stages, one of my phases. I got these sleep buds called Oslos. I asked for them to be a sponsor of the show and I haven't heard back. That's how much I love them. Whenever I ask someone to be a sponsor on our show, just know that I am obsessed with whatever that thing is, because I would never talk about something on the podcast because I know you all trust me like your sister from another mister. So I know you trust me and I would never do anything to betray that trust. So I would never, ever, 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 ever suggest something that I'm not using personally day in and day out and absolutely obsessed with, because when I get obsessed with something, like watch out world, like right now I'm on a LaCroix kick, and I could have like a case a day if I let myself. And sometimes I do let myself. So when I share something, just know that I have vetted it. I've been the guinea pig. I looked for loopholes. I've looked for red flags. I've looked for all the logistical nightmares and worked them all out. And so something that has helped my sleep so much, because obviously I share a bed with David and he breathes at night. Can you believe it? He actually breathes while he sleeps. I know. And that keeps me up. Doesn't keep me up the whole time. It's just when I roll over between REM cycles, then if he's breathing, then I'm screwed because I'm like up. So even when he moves around, can you believe he moves around while he sleeps? I know, the nerve. So one thing that has helped me so much is sleep earbuds. These things are unbelievable. They're kind of expensive, but I do have a cheaper alternative. And they fit in your ears like a hearing aid. So they fit so snugly that you can sleep on your side and they don't fall out while you sleep. And they have sounds and music and noise. They're out noise cancellation earbuds. And they also have within the app different sounds like ocean and white noise. And they have stuff like that. But I like to stream it to YouTube and listen to, this might sound a little crazy, but before I get into what I listen to, these earbuds, they have noise cancellation at the get-go, and then you stream music or sound on top of it, and you are literally out like a light. So much so that I wasn't waking up to my alarm. Because around 5 o'clock, I do a soft launch to my alarm. I like to get up around 5:30. And so 5 o'clock, I'll do the soft launch alarm. Like I need to get up, and then I'll like move to the couch, and then I'll have my real alarm get up at like 5:15, 5:20. And then 5:30, I have an alarm that says, get your butt out of bed, you lazy dog, or something like that. And I always go for my Jamie walks. We talked about Jamie in the last couple podcasts, my brother-in-law, rest in peace. And he has helped me so much to get my butt to get out the door every single morning, no matter what. 10K every day is in his honor every day. I haven't missed a day since July 15th. So they work so well that I would wake up to my soft launch alarm because I would have it through the Oslos. You can have an alarm, but then I'd have my other one through my phone, and I would sleep through that alarm because I was on the couch. I'd like the 5 o'clock, I moved to the couch, 5:30, I'd sleep through that alarm. So they do have an alarm system within the Oslos because I was sleeping so soundly and so deep, and it was so much noise cancellation that I wasn't even hearing my alarm. And that my alarm is loud. It's loud and proud and ready to wake me up. And so I'm just like, whoa, these things are amazing. So highly recommend if they are too expensive, because I think they're like $200. The thing I liked about them is they have it's $200, or you can pay, I think, $20 a month until they're paid off. And it's not through a credit card or like financing or anything like that. It's almost like a payment plan, and you pay the $20 until you are at the $200. And then at that, you own them. Now, if for some reason you go defunct and you disappear on them, then they'll charge your credit card the rest of the $200. So I did that, and I thought that was a really good way of like offsetting the cost. Now I should probably just pay it off, because now that I know that I like them, but I wanted just to, I don't want to pay the $200, because what if I didn't like them, or what if they weren't worth the $200? So I really went back and forth about that, but I'm in love with these things. I guard them with my life. I have to keep them away from the dogs because Tucker somehow knows how to open like AirPods cases, and the Oslo case has like a sliding top. It's really cool. And somehow he can get in, he knows how to open that thing. So, and he loves chewing on anything electronic, any type of metal. It's very bizarre. I'm like, do you have pica? Is that like the disease I saw like on Jerry Springer when people eat like random stuff? Like, not like just eat paper. They eat like spatulas and stuff. I can't recommend those enough. If those are too much out of your price range, which I totally get, because I didn't get those right from the get-go. I got, before that, it's called a sleep headband. And if you Google it on Amazon, I can find you the link if you need to. They're like $14, and they're a headband that you sleep with. And the earbuds are flat, and they're built into the headband. Now, I didn't like these because I wear bangs, and so they messed up my bangs every night. And they also cover up your eyes while you sleep. You can get that one, or just a regular headband. But they were messing up my hair, and so I was waking up with my hair sticking straight up and taking Grady to school before I showered. Usually shower after I drop them off, and I carpool, so I don't want them to see me with my hair all sticking up everywhere. So that's the only reason why I didn't like them. But if you are bang free, you will be in heaven with these. It's a sleep headband, and it's amazing. And you can stream music. So now we're on to the music. So when I was in the depths of my grief, I was falling asleep and I was listening to true crime or my counselor radio. And I was going to sleep with that searing pain and waking up with the searing pain. And I thought to myself, I'm asleep for, on a good night, 8 hours, usually like 11 to 5. So maybe not. That's only 6 to 8 hours. I try to power nap if I can, like 20 minutes to offset that exhaustion. But I thought to myself, if I'm asleep for 8 hours, what do I want my psyche listening to? My unconscious brain is most alive at night. So what do I want to listen to? So I started listening to grief music. I know it sounds crazy, but there is, if you Google on YouTube, frequency for grief, music frequency for grief, there is a plethora of music that you can listen to, and it's all instrumental. It's more like, my friend Shar goes to sound baths, and it's more like, it's not music like la 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 la. It's more like sounds, like what you'd hear at the spa. And it is so relaxing. If you read in the comments, it is so peaceful and helps you sleep. And I was actually using it for actively grieving while I was sleeping. And that's how it all started. And I did that for months. And it doesn't take the grief away, obviously, but it just takes that searing and makes the searing the sharp knife, not a butter knife, but not a steak knife, if that makes any sense. It just kind of softens the edge of the blade of that searingness. So I did that for months, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Then we had the tragedy of my brother-in-law, and I was starting to feel sick, and we had a lot of work to do in a small amount of time, and I started to get that tickle in my throat. I was getting chills. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get sick. And the next day was the biggest day of all that we needed to do. And I was only in town for a certain amount of time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to sleep and let me see if there's something here for a sore throat and chills. And I Googled sleep frequency for sore throat. And I went to sleep listening to that, and I woke up without a sore throat. I was like, what is this voodoo? What is happening? If you read the comments of these different audios, they have millions of views and thousands of comments, and they're all saying, where'd my sore throat go? What's going on? Then when I was doing 75 hard, I was doing it for weight loss. So I would do sound frequency for weight loss. I know this sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I am here to tell you, it has helped me so much in so many different areas. It's helped me with grief. It's helped me when I start to feel sick. It's helped me when I was trying to lose weight. I'm guaranteed to help me lose 30 pounds when I did 75 hard. And I would listen to that. And then I would listen to, if I had a really stressed out day or I was having a lot of anxious thoughts about something coming up, because I don't really have a lot of anxiety about the past. I'm more of a future anxious person. So I would listen to music frequency for anxious thoughts. Whatever your ailment is, I'm telling you, there is something for that. Then, as Grady would say in threes, I started to have back pain from all the running I've been doing. Not like laid out, I threw out my back, but just back soreness, I should say. So what I do, music frequency for back pain, music frequency for lower back pain, music frequency for upper back pain. And there's so much credibility because if you read the comments, you're like, whoa, Kelly might be onto something. Now, I'm not onto something. These people are. I don't even know how I found this, but you literally, whatever you're having, it just takes the edge off. It does not heal it, does not make it go away. It does not make it disappear. It's kind of like I used to tell my students when I was a counselor. I'd say, when you come to my office, I don't make all your problems vanish and disappear, but I make them go from maybe like a 6-inch sub to like a 2 or 3-inch sub. Just makes it more manageable and just resets your system while you're sleeping, because you're thinking for 8 hours, might as well, we're always talking about the unconscious part of the brain, might as well do some reprogramming, some resetting while we're sleeping. What a great time to take advantage of that. So another area for sleep hygiene that has helped me so much was I listened to a podcast by Jody Moore. a couple of years ago, and this helped me so much because we always know that our feelings come from our thoughts. So if we know that, we have to control our thoughts in the middle of the night or when we're trying to fall asleep and we have the ruminating, racing thoughts. A lot of times the thoughts are not about what's going on in our day. Sometimes they are, but a lot of times it's like we do the math and we start panicking about the math because like, oh my gosh, I'm only getting 4 hours. Oh my gosh, I'm only getting 2 hours. So what she taught me to do was to accept the as is of, oh, I've done 4 hours of sleep before. Oh, I've done 2 hours of sleep before. Like I can do that. Yeah, I'll be tired, but I've felt tired before because a lot of times we're panicking about the panicking. And so when we just kind of like lean into like accepting the as is of like, okay, it's 2:00 now. If I don't go back to sleep, then I've gotten 4 hours of sleep. I've done 4 hours of sleep. And so it's a way to almost like play mind games on your own mind of not panicking. Like, yeah, I'll be dragging. I've dragged before. It's kind of like a lot of times we're so afraid of letting our guard down with people because we don't want to get hurt. So we hurt ourselves in the process by assuming they're going to hurt us. So we don't get vulnerable with anybody. But one thing that really helps with that is just saying, well, I've been hurt before. I can manage hurt. I have felt disappointed. I felt sadness. I felt betrayed. I felt all those things before. Why am I going to feel that on purpose when it hasn't even happened yet? Why am I going to feel it ahead of time to try to offset and make myself feel better when it's really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when you think about it? So when we just like, oh, I'm okay with feeling that emotion, it kind of like you drop the rope and that fear of like, oh, I've felt that before. It's not a great feeling, but has it happened? No. Am I going to borrow worry? No. Am I going to borrow betrayal? No. Am I going to borrow sadness and disappointment? No. I'm going to lean in and love without limits, without a governor. And if it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to borrow worry until it happens. And then when it happens, guess what? I will feel a human emotion. The worst thing that can happen is I will feel a human emotion. And I guarantee you, I have felt that emotion before. I guarantee you that you have felt that emotion before too. And then it kind of takes the fear out of it when we're not holding on to it so much and we kind of loosen our grip, so to speak. Another thing that helped me was this was more of a placebo, but I used to use these Unisom melt tabs. My doctor said they were safe for pregnancy. I didn't use them when I was pregnant, but he said they were. So I was like, they're probably not great, but I don't really want to use them, but I want to know that I have access to them just in case. So, and they're sleep tabs, so they dissolve in your mouth. They're kind of hard to find now. I don't use them anymore, and I haven't in ages, but I used to unwrap one and leave a half of a half because they say to take two. If I took two, I probably wouldn't wake up in the morning until like noon. So I took a half of one and I put it next on my nightstand. So I knew that it was there just in case, because again, I wasn't having a hard time falling asleep. So if I wake up at 2 a.m., I don't want to be taking a full Unisom tab and then getting up at 5. So I would just have it there. And it was just a nice placebo effect. I never really used it. It was almost like a pacifier that I needed it just in case, but I never used it. And so just having it there seemed to settle my mind a little bit of like, you have this if you need it. Use in case of emergency, but I didn't need it because it was like just there as a placebo, if that makes sense. So here is just some tips and tricks, and I want you to let me know what has helped you sleep better when you have good sleep hygiene. Now, of course, I am very high maintenance when it comes to sleep. I have all the right pillows. I have all the right blankets. I have all the right temperature. Another thing, I was getting hot flashes big time. And I have this cooling mat. Now, this cooling mat, I do not recommend because it is very expensive. And wow, I think I got it for like my 40th birthday gift. It was big, big money. It's called the Uller cooling mat. I'm pretty sure that's the name. I should know that. I'm not sponsored. I'm not even recommending it because it's so expensive. But it's something you put underneath your fitted sheet on your side of the bed and you can control the temperature. You can make it super hot, super cold, whatever you want. And so I would use it and turn down to temperature because I was getting such bad hot flashes and I was sleeping so hot and David was sleeping so cool. And even when he was out of town, I would crank down the air, but the kids' room is the coldest room in the house. So if I cranked down the room, they'd wake up with like stuffy noses and frost on their windows because they would get just frozen out of their own room. So I do recommend that, but I know that there's cheaper versions out there. Like sometimes I will just, if I'm having a hot flash, I'll put my blanket in the freezer for like an hour before I go to bed. And then I'll just kind of cool off with that. Sheeks, Sheex, not a sponsor, but I would love for them to sponsor me if you'd like to. Thanks. Call me Sheeks. They are my favorite sheets ever. It's Sheex. Best cooling sheets ever. They're always cool, just like you are. I have the Sheeks pajama set. That was like a gift I got. And that's another way to help me stay cool. Not that I need anything to help me stay cool. So here are just some tips and tricks that I have done. And I know there's more, but sometimes it's like you do them you're so ingrained in doing them that you don't realize you're doing them. So if I think of any more, I will let you know. But I want you to share with me what helps you sleep. I would say the number one thing is my Oslos with the sleep frequency music has been the biggest game changer on the planet. Not freaking out if I do wake up, allowing myself just to feel tired and be like, oh, I felt tired before. Oh, no biggie. Not looking at the clock. Things like that have really helped me with my sleep hygiene. So I'm more rested and waking up, not dragging all day long. Of course, you're going to drag in the morning because sometimes Grady's dragging in the morning. He's like, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I'm like, you're supposed to be tired in the morning. Just like you're tired at night, you're supposed to be tired in the morning. And it takes you, like an hour to wake up. For me, it takes about 30 minutes to an hour. That's totally normal. It's just you're coming out of your sleep cycle. Lily uses an app that she swears by, that you tell the app what time you want to wake up, and then it tells you what time you need to go to sleep. So it gives you a couple ranges. If you want to get 8 hours, this is what time you should go to sleep. So you wake up between REM cycles. And that has helped her so much. And Grady's just now trying it. He just tried it last night, but he missed his REM cycle. If you wake up in the middle of a REM cycle, that's when you feel that foggy, like, oh my gosh, I just been hit by a truck. So planning it with different apps that tell you what time to go to bed, so you wake up between a REM cycle, is so key. Because I think every REM cycle I should know that, but I think it lasts 90 to 120 minutes. Am I wrong? You need to Google that. I'm not sure about that. But waking up between REM cycles really helps. So you just find out, either you tell yourself what time, like over summer, she will go to bed at a certain time, and then she'll ask this app, what time should I wake up? And it will give 2 different ranges. Like if you want to sleep in, do this time frame. And so she'll set her alarm over the summer so she doesn't wake up in a REM cycle. Or if she has to wake up in the morning, she'll get different options. So let me know what's helpful for you. Let me know if you want to do the letter writing, and I will talk to you next week. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.